I was bored one day and I jokingly placed a $30 bid on an Apple iPhone 6 64 gig. Now the phone works completely well. It's got a few scratches here and there. It's an iPhone 6. What do you expect? The phone came out like what, 6 years ago? And unfortunately, I won the bid and here it is. So let's unbox it. Before we get into the unboxing, I just want to show that the phone has a little bit of cosmetic damage. You can see it's got scratches. It actually looks like it's got a screen, like a light screen protector over it. And down here it says, phone has always been used with a screen protector. LCD shows very subtle discoloration around the edges. Battery health shown in last picture. Phone itself has no deep scratches or scuffs. Only light signs of use. Includes the following accessories. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that it comes with a absolutely destroyed, shattered OtterBox case, which I'm probably not going to use, but I think it's going to be funny to put on the phone. Now let's get to unboxing it and put it through some camera tests, audio tests, and see really how an iPhone 6 holds up in 2023. Now you got to keep in mind, this is a 9-year-old phone. See, I'm going to try to record this with 2 camera angles. Camera switch. Camera switch. Camera switch. Camera switch. Camera switch. See? Isn't that pretty cool? I think that's cool. Alright, so here it is. It was packaged very nice and annoyingly, actually. Very, very annoyingly. Take out my totally legal knife in Canada. Get this crap opened. And there it is. Does it actually come with the case? It does come with the case. Let me look at the case here. As you can see, it's absolutely wrecked. Other than that, the bubble wrap, standard stuff. And, oh, they packed it in a little sleeve here. Take this off. Take a look at it here. It actually looks like a totally fine, near brand new iPhone 6. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but there's a little dirt. Seems to be, oh, I think that rubs off. Yeah, it's rubbing off. Let me try to turn it on. I assume this won't have any power. Yeah, and it's dead. There we go. Now that it's plugged in, I'm going to let it charge up for a bit. And then once it's charged, we're going to test out the camera, the audio, and have a little bit of fun with it. But if you do like these types of videos, drop the video a like. Tell me in the comment section below if you want to see more unboxings. Like, this is a 9-year-old iPhone 6 that I accidentally won on eBay. So tell me in the comment section below. So it's been actually over an hour for this thing to actually turn on.
Scene part 203. If you wish you never had to scrub your toilet.
Oh, fuck. Forgot that I'm still recording this. Oops. And it's still not fully charged. But I couldn't help but notice when I tried to enter the phone, it requires a passcode, which I have no clue what it is. So I'm going to contact the buyer and see if they know it. If not, no worries, I can completely reset this phone in like 10 minutes. So I was too lazy to wait for the buyer, so what I did was put the phone into recovery mode, connect it to iTunes, and then you can click restore, and then click restore and update, click done, and then if I go back to this page, you'll see it says iTunes is downloading the software for this iPhone, and will restore your iPhone when the download is complete. So I'm just gonna have to wait now. So as it's restoring, you can actually see the yellowness of the phone screen. They did say that on the eBay listing. Now, I'm going to be honest, on camera, it looks a lot worse. It's actually not that yellow. Oh, if I zoom up, you can kind of see where the yellow is. There you go. So you can just see it's all on the edges, and that's pretty much it. Once this is done, we're going to go do the tests. All right, so the phone is unlocked. And one weird thing is this only has, right now, 92% battery. It was just at 100 like 5 minutes ago. So my biggest worry is checking the battery performance. Now, one of the things that I actually did with this phone was try to update it. And then I remembered that this phone's last update was iOS 12.5. And when I go to battery health over here, I'm kind of worried. Who knows what I'm going to see? It is at 74%. Meaning when this is at 100%, it's actually performing as if it's at 74. Pretty bad. I don't know how long this would end up lasting you in a day. I do have the brightness really low, mainly because for the camera, it looks really bad and it struggles. But knowing that it's dropped this much battery within like 5-10 minutes on really low, I'm really worried to see how quickly the battery will drain once its brightness is at 100%. One thing I am going to check to see if it works perfectly fine is Touch ID. Now, I remember having Touch ID on an iPhone 6 back in high school, and I loved it. I'm going to add a fingerprint, and let's see, use your fingerprint. all you gotta do is move your finger like this up and down. Continue, adjust my grip, pat down on it like this. I miss this feature so much. I'm so used to Face ID now. There you go, now it's on. So, if I turn this off, click down and put my finger here, it should unlock. Yeah, there you go. It doesn't seem to work all the time. Maybe it's just my position of my finger. Maybe I'm holding it weird. I remember this working pretty much all the time when I had my 6, so I don't know if it's just slow. What we are going to do is test the cameras compared to an iPhone 14 Pro. Alright, so I started off by taking 2 photos in natural light of my cat Oreo, and I don't know if it's that noticeable if you can tell the difference, and in my opinion, there is a big difference between these 2 photos. If you haven't guessed it already, the photo on the left was taken with the iPhone 6, and then the photo on the right was taken with the iPhone 14 Pro. Overall, you can just see so much more detail in the couch glare, and if you look at Oreo's fur, you can just see so much more detail within the darkness of his fur, and overall, it looks really, really good. Future Chris here. As I'm editing this, I just realized through all the comparisons that I present to show you, I actually just neglect the iPhone 6 and just hype up the iPhone 14 Pro, so kind of lost track when doing this, but still, once again, the iPhone 6 is actually a really good camera, but the iPhone 14 Pro is just clearly a better camera. Next up, I decided to take 2 photos of Oreo in low light. And this is the biggest difference between the 2 cameras. As you can see, the iPhone 6, once again on the left, seems to be more grainier with a lot less detail. And then if we look at the iPhone 14 Pro on the right, you can see things are more smoothed out. You can actually see outside that window. Now, both cameras, I made sure to click on Oreo so it focuses on my cat. And you can just see the iPhone 14 Pro managed to use one of its other cameras to focus on the backlight, hence seeing a better view out the window. Well, the iPhone 6 only has 1 camera, and it overall came out slightly blurry and a lot more grainy. The next thing I did was wake up my cat and decide to take 2 photos with the flash on. Now, yes, Oreo is in 2 different positions. One of him on the left was looking down, which that is the iPhone 6, and the one on the right is the iPhone 14 Pro. I mean, this is just night and day in difference between his fur, the detail, and it just seems to be more clear. Here I am outside with the cameras. Can you tell which one is the iPhone 6 and which one is the iPhone 14 Pro? It's absolutely crazy how big of a difference this is. Just its smoothness, quality and detail of the camera. I mean, it's honestly night and day. And then I put the cameras to an ultra low light test, trying to see if it can pick up my cat Oreo sleeping near the furnace. You can see the iPhone 14 Pro on the right managed to get a little bit of visuals of the cat, where the iPhone 6 just completely blacks out. Now I'm going to put the phone through an ultra realistic simulated drop test. Now, we've all been there. We try to put our phone in our pocket and it falls on the ground and you're like, oops, I dropped my iPhone. So you pick it up to see if it's cracked, and then you know it's definitely cracked. Evidently, the phone is perfectly fine, and if you have like a grandma or something who, I don't know, maybe wants a phone, this is honestly for $26, you get the job done, right? It's an iPhone, it works. Given it doesn't get updates, but if you want to just call people and have a pretty reliable phone, this is a great deal. But there you go, a completely working iPhone 6 with a little bit of discoloration on the LCD panel, which doesn't look that bad at all on camera or really in person. If you ever wanted to see what the inside of an iPhone looks like, it looks like this.